So Geralt's wounded here and being brought back somewhere, and that looked like Vesemir.
Your time nears its end, witches. Enjoy things while you can.
Thanks, Harry Potter.
Professor, you know the way. Get to it.
Yes, deep voicey man. Grossness towards blood going. There's lots of blood. Oh, chopped his head off. Hells yeah, that's a finishing move. Look at that. Awesome. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. It is time to crack on with a new game, a new universe. Now, I'm hoping the audio's not too loud. It's bashing me in the ears at the moment, so let's see if I can turn that down a tiny bit. Let's see how that goes. Alrighty, hello everyone. Hope you are all doing well. Many new things happening tonight. So, new game, obviously. Yes, we're cracking on with that. I'll talk about that in a minute. New structure. We've got Frosty directing the playthrough this time with many notes and guides. That's exciting for me because it gives me more confidence to just crack on with what we're doing in the right order. I'm on my new gaming machine, which appears to be working. So do let me know if there are any audio or visual issues. My testing and reconfiguration has worked for the most part, I think. So new PC appears to be working, I think. Also tonight, we're now including Steam in the multicast. So right now we're multicasting to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, some other thing, I forgot what it's called, and Steam. Although I don't think the Steam chat integration works, and I cannot see what happens in chat on Steam, so apologies for that. So Grizz, there's something horrible on screen. Oh no, wait, it's me. No, it's all good, it's all good. Just nothing that we shouldn't be used to already, right? It's me with my big old headphones and my Witcher shirt because tonight we are playing The Witcher. Alrighty, so the plan is we're going to be playing through, as always, so for newcomers, alrighty, first episode sometimes needs little bits of tuning for audio and visual stuff if I haven't got it quite right. Don't worry, by the second episode, I've usually got it nailed for the best graphics and audio experience for anyone watching on stream or in the high definition recorded episodes on YouTube. So bear with me for that. Feedback and suggestions always welcome. As we crack on through games, we talk about the lore and the story and the characters as we go. So my intention is to keep everyone up to speed because not everyone is able to fully follow everything when they're playing. We also have some legendary audience members in chat who also bring up relevant details, point out things that I sometimes miss, and also help fill in the lore and the exploration. So my angle on these games is not just talking along, muttering mindless comments, but it is also, I include that of course, but also we explore the lore, explain the lore and the story and the characters and how things connect, and also do little reminders and keeping everyone hopefully up to speed with everything that's happening. So the intention is a nice rich experience for all of us, and our legendary, absolutely legendary audience members contribute to that in a big way. So thank you very much to all of the people who come along, who chat to each other in chat and to me, and also to our Patreon sponsors, the likes of Frosty, Vito, Zelzumet, Delen, and the Pungent Master. So let's crack on. Delen, we sometimes point out relevant details. Frequently relevant details. Hopefully everyone is set. I'm excited. Are we positioned? Have we got snacks? Have we got beverages? We've got pets and kitty and doggo snuggles, have we? It's winter is coming in Australia, so things are cooling down here. And Vito's here for the lols. Excellent. Well, there's also sex scenes in The Witcher. The Witcher is a very adult-focused game with some swearing and occasional nudity, although there's not a lot of actual nudity in The Witcher 1. But in The Witcher 2 and 3, Vito, there is plenty there. Sparkle sauce, you need ice for your knee, but it can wait. Absolutely, because we're cracking on with The Witcher. So, if anyone's watching and sick of me talking and you're watching the recorded stuff, there's chapters below. Just skip forward if you don't want to listen to me rambling on about stuff. But As always, I like to explain things and get everyone up to the same page. So if you're a master of this and you know this already, just skip forward if you're watching the recorded stuff on YouTube. For those watching it live, you're stuck with me talking right now. Sorry about that. Okay, so The Witcher. The world of The Witcher is different to a lot of other fantasy worlds and games. It's kind of cool. It's based, obviously the games are based on the books written by Andrzej Sapkowski. I think he wrote them or started writing them originally in the late 80s. Anyway, the games are based, well, they're in line with the books, right? So we are playing, I need to go back to my notes so I stop rambling all over the place. We're playing the Witcher 1 Enhanced Edition Director's Cut Remastered with mods. That's a hell of a thing. In particular, one of the main mods is called Rise of the White Wolf, recommended by Frosty, but also as one of the top mods on the Nexus. If you want to know which mods I'm using, I do have a panel on my About page on Twitch that explains, it's got a list there, but it looks awful. So I'm going to do a Patreon public post that explains all the mods I've got and how I did it, because there are some things to be mindful of when installing said mods in games like this. I also plan to do a guide video eventually. That's coming later at some stage. Say that 3 times fast. Yeah, I know. The Witcher Enhanced Edition Director's Cut Remastered with mods. Cool. So remastered with mods, that's my passion, making things look modern. It definitely looks better. This is still definitely an old game, so please hold your expectations. It's an old game, but I think it's looking okay. The story in this is decent. The characters are okay, but it leads on to the awesome universe, which is very good. And the second and third games in the Witcher series are also very good. Yet to be determined, Shade is also behind on his YouTube vids. That is also true. I'm very much behind my YouTube vids. I need to get big enough where I can pay someone else to do it for me. Cool. All right, so many mods are installed. I've got them listed. A write-up to come is still yet to come for how best to mod it to match what I have done. There are other ways to mod the game, of course. However, this has got some solid modding without going over the top. I'll talk about mods in more details separately because everyone's probably sick of hearing about that for now. Mr. Nobody, welcome. Great to see you come along. You've tuned into a first episode too, so that's even better. Alrighty, so the world of The Witcher. The books and the game take place mostly in the world, typically referred to the world of the ˈv뾱ɛd, and the land in particular is typically referred to as the continent. Now, we'll talk through more of these details as they unravel through the game, so I won't cover everything here, but I'm just going to do some initial explanation. So, there are multiple worlds, planets, whatever you want to call them, and they are separate worlds, separate species, separate everything. Except every once in a while, the planes kind of collide, and you have what's called a conjunction, or conjunction of the spheres. That's referred to in the books, and in the games, and in the Netflix series. The games take place after the books, so the books, so this takes place approximately, it says 5 years after the Great War. I'm not sure when that takes place in the books, but it's somewhere between 2 and 5 years after the last book, I believe, right? That's where this one kicks in, The Witcher 1, then The Witcher 2 follows like 6 months later, and then I think The Witcher 3 is only like a month or two, it's very shortly after that as well. So that is how that connects. We'll talk more about that as it flows along. So that we're in the world of the ๊v뾱ɛd. Now the ๊v<silence>ɛd is basically elder speak for elves. So this takes place in the home world of one of the elven races. I say one of because technically there are more than one. However, throughout the games we're pretty much only encountering the one, but it's the ๊v뾱ɛd, and the spelling for the word ๊v뾱ɛd is really complex, so I'm not going to attempt it here. World of the ๊v뾱ɛd, which means that everything else here is foreign. Humans are an invader. Humans established and came to this world through the conjunction of the spheres. During said conjunction, the spheres, the worlds collide, portals erupt all over all of these connected worlds, and anyone can pass through them. That is how we get all of the monsters here. That is how humans arrived. Likely how dwarves arrived as well, although I'm a little rusty on the dwarven lore if anyone wants to correct me on that. But humans, this is not the human homeworld, which is an interesting conundrum considering that it is dominated by humans. Humans have basically taken over the continent, driven out a lot of the elves. There's been conflict between human and elves are treated once again, like they are in nearly all games, pretty poorly. We'll explore that at a later place, a later point as well. All right, so monsters are from different worlds, and that's why they're here. One thing to note, monsters are monsters. They are beings. They are species. They are not supernatural. So they are legitimate life forms from other worlds that have come here through portals that form during the conjunction of the spheres. Now, there is going to be references to supernatural things like drowners are believed to have formed from people dying, or a lot of people dying of violent death, drowning in the water, etc. These are myths and folklore and tales. We'll explore that when it comes along, but just keep in mind, everything is an actual creature from another world. There's no, weird supernatural things like, these are created when there's lots of violence, or a necrophage forms from someone who died a violent death. Nope, that's just folklore. We'll explore that as time goes on. We play as Geralt of Rivia. Now, Geralt is the main character in all of this stuff. He is a witcher, obviously. And Rivia is not actually where he's from, but never mind that for now either. So Geralt is a witcher. Witches are mutants, which are basically mutated humans. They live longer lives, they are incredibly tough, and they have strong healing and regenerative, regenerative abilities. They're also, due to their heartiness, able to consume alchemy potions. Now, a lot of humans and elves would not be able to take these things due to the toxicity that comes, the toxic nature that comes from imbibing these potions. Witches can take them and withstand them. However, they do have a limited amount of toxicity they can handle. And Grizz, do I have the Henry mod that makes Witcher look like Henry Cavill? No, I do not. Sorry about that. But it also doesn't, I don't think it exists for the Witcher 1 that I could find anyway. Okay, so witches are created through a process, a magical and alchemical process that was originally created by human mages. Now, humans learnt magic from the elven mages originally. Even more of a dick move by humans, but due to all the monsters affecting all the human settlements, they came up with the concept of witches. So it's basically a magical and alchemical process to turn a human person into a witcher. There's like 3 trials. I think there's like trials of the mind, trials of the something else, and trials of the grass. We'll talk about that later. It's not easy. I think only 30% of boys, so it's typically human boys that go through this process. I think only 30% of them survive. Obviously Geralt survived, but Geralt is also not only a witcher who survived, but he's one of the most legendary and successful witches as well. On top of that, so that's why they were created. They've been successful over the centuries. Now monsters are dying out. There's not a lot of monsters left because witches have been doing their job as well as other people killing monsters. So the witches are not needed as much. They have fallen a great deal from their glory days. And on top of that, most people, humans and elves and dwarves alike, don't like witches. So witches are an essential service. People need witches and they hate them at the same time. So that's going to be an interesting experience through these games that we play through as well. Everyone dislikes witches typically. Now, there's, I think, conjunctions starting to happen again, especially with the story with Ciri. That doesn't come into play yet. So more monsters are starting to creep along, and as we've seen in the TV show and some of the books, more monsters still are able to come through from time to time as well. So Geralt, Geralt's very, very famous, very capable witcher. There'll be lots of fighting and violence in this game. There'll be some stories. There'll be some plot twists. There will be some nudity and explicit material, although in The Witcher 1, it's still pretty tame. Basically, Geralt also bangs a lot. He hooks up a lot. People are attracted to Geralt, even though he's a bit of a weird-looking dude sometimes, but I've modded it to make him look like how he looks like in the second and third game. Originally, he looks a little bit unattractive, but that's changed now in the mods we've got on here. And he's got a high libido, which is, I believe, in the books is referred to as further amped up by the potions and alchemy stuff he has to take in order to survive and thrive in being a successful witcher. Cool. I think that's covered all the background that we need to cover. Geralt, generally speaking, is not a people person. He is a good-hearted person, and one of his general things is the real monsters are often not monsters at all, but humans. And Geralt tries to stay out of political things. He prefers to not make decisions or not partake at all, as is sort of hinted to in the TV series. But ultimately, he gets sucked into it all the time, whether he likes it or not. We'll talk through more of this as it comes up. Also, one thing to note is the TV series, what's the word? Sort of goes on its own path. It differs slightly from the books in many ways, whereas the game should be, I believe, like 95% in line with the books. Should be all good. Alrighty, is Dandelion in this one? Yes, he is. We will be having Dandelion, aka, where is he? Jaskier or Jaskier? So Jaskier is his actual name, which in the English translation in the books has been translated to Dandelion. It can also be translated to Buttercup. I'm waiting for the TV series to please make a reference to either Buttercup or Dandelion. They haven't. Anyway, Jaskier is his original name. Yes, he is in this, although he doesn't have the hilarious parts that he plays in the TV series. But he also doesn't show up for a little while yet either. Also, to get started, Geralt has amnesia at the start of this, so this is going to be an interesting turn. So basically, we, the player, are new to The Witcher. Geralt sort of forgets who he is, and over the course of the 3 games, he gets his memory back. All the lore and stories flood in together, and then The Witcher 3 is apparently amazeballs. I haven't seen it, but I'm looking forward to it. I have played The Witcher 1. I'm a bit rusty on a lot of the details. I've forgotten some of it, but we've got Frosty, who has sent me a bunch of info and notes to effectively direct our playthrough. Now, I've got Frosty, I've got your notes over here on my screen. I think I know roughly what we're doing to start, or we'll be tackling the prologue first, which is pretty linear. But also, please yell out to redirect me as required. Prepare for jank. There is. Combat in this is a bit janky, but anyway, I have definitely talked way too long. Frosty, Dandelion is also considered his bard name, as he's got a real name that he doesn't really mention. Yes, Julian, blah, 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 the second longest name in the world, right? Yeah. It must be Gary. Now, Julian, long name that I can't remember. That's his real name. So Jaskier, Dandelion is his bard name, I believe. Alrighty. Frosty also says, Geralt may not want anything to do with politics, but politics wants him so bad. Oh, yes, it does. And there's constant politics, constant warring by the humans. The elves are sort of, I don't know, in the shadows. And the dwarves, I don't know, the dwarves don't have a big part to play in this yet. But there's going to be talks and plots around elves and dwarves and humans coming up. So strap in, let's go. Time to start the new game. Let's crack on. Let's find out what The Witcher 1 is all about. Alright, so we are playing... once we've done the main playthrough, there's a couple of extra adventures we can do. So we're going to play through these separately after we've finished the main story, just for a bit of fun. But for now, we're doing the main story on intermediate level. and keyboard and mouse controlled. Everything theoretically is working based on my testing. Bright, poor elves, always getting kicked out. Yeah. Here we go.
The northern kingdoms nursed their wounds for 5 years after the Great War. Plague and famine raged, the death toll unknown. A few surviving elven and dwarven units sought refuge amidst forests, where they prepared for a final, desperate fight. Abominable beasts ruled backwoods, highways, and former battlefields alike. In cities and villages, folk were left wondering what had happened to the Witchers. The Blue Mountains in the north of Kedwen. The year 1270, 5 years after the Great War.
Geralt down, but he's got the chest of the gods revealed. I've dropped the volume. Hopefully that's good. It's scary then you want it to be Sparkle Source. Don't worry, it's not too scary. Hopefully that volume's a bit better now too. Thank you for the feedback. So Geralt's wounded here and being brought back somewhere, and that looked like Vesemir.
Everything's all right. I've no idea where you've been. The important thing is you're alive and among friends. Though you look like you just left your grave.
Yes, it's an old game. There's going to be some jankiness. I've improved it as best I can. But it doesn't look too bad, right? Not too bad.
I remember nothing.
We'll speak soon enough. We're nearing Kaer Morhen.
Kaer Morhen. The Witcher's home. Get him a damn pillow. All horse, no tail. Really? Was the tail missing? So many intros start with people on carts. Yeah, Bright's on it. Skyrim. Oh, hey, you're finally awake. Oh. I'm looking forward to doing Skyrim on stream too. That's going to be a hell of a journey. I have lots of mods and lots of lore for everyone on that. Plus my own headcanon playthrough. Spin on things there. Same with Fallout 4. That's going to be a hell of a ride. I look forward to that too. Alright, so back at Kaer Morhen. I don't know why there's a skull there on the ground. That seems like out of place, but anyway. Vesemir and the other witches. Also having cat's eyes like Geralt.
We're home. Leo, get Triss.
Triss. So Triss Merigold is apparently here.
Your time nears its end, witches. Enjoy things while you can.
Thanks, Harry Potter. Yeah, sharpen that knife.
Wrong! You missed the parry! I keep repeating this. Pirouette always followed by a back cross parry. Always!
Barely 2 days have passed since they found you.
I owe my recovery to you. Thank you, Triss.
Remember anything?
Red hair, that's right. That's Triss, for sure.
Not much. Look below. I know the moves. Pirouette, parry, cut.
Damn it, she's still got the neck seam. I tried to fix it as best I could.
I can't explain it, but I feel a bond when we speak. I know you are important.
Geralt, we...
Keep in mind this game is 15 years old. 2007 it came out, hence why there's some jankiness. And it's CD Projekt Red's first real title that they produced on their
To
own.
think.
Time
Using-
goes slowly at Kaer Morhen.
Using an old BioWare engine.
It worked! Not bad. Take a rest. What do you think, Geralt? Is he ready for the path?
Wait for the rest. He's alone.
The professor promised 50 orens for every freak we kill.
He's
Oh, there's some odd. Get out of here, dickhead.
We got company.
Henry is hotter. Yeah, I think that's probably true. Although Geralt looks pretty good in Witcher 2 and 3. Minaret, you're lurking, no probs.
Geralt, grab a sword off the training forms.
Alright, so kä mＨin is being, like, attacked, raided by bandits. And here is our intro. Move the cursor over the sword to pick and equip. Alright, so for anyone who has played The Witcher, it's going to look a little bit different because we've got Rise of the White Wolf installed, which changes a lot of the interface. I've also got Scabbard mod installed, which makes us have actual scabbards for swords, which looks kind of cool. Now, the combat... oh, the combat in The Witcher 1. It is a bit janky. However, hopefully I'll get a bit better at it to coordinate it, but basically it's all about timing. I need to hit the button at the right time to make Geralt chain the moves together and unleash. There are various swords, there are various fighting styles. I have to switch between said styles for different enemies and monsters. Let's see how we go. There's also different camera angles where we've got isometric, close isometric, and then over the shoulder. I'm going to be varying between over the shoulder and close isometric. When I played this the first time, I did a distant one, so it's a new experience for me, doing it over the shoulder to try and give a better look. Sometimes that might mean things are moving too fast, so if that's the case, let me know and we can switch up the camera angles as well. And Sparklesaurus, please explain janky, basically clunky, because of the game's age, which you've already noticed. Yeah, things are just a little bit clunky because it's so old, and even at the time, this was the first game made by the studio CD Projekt Red, so and considering all of that, they did pretty well. Old engine, old game, first game released, or first real game released by them. Clunky is a good description. Janky is used as a sort of an international term in the tech world, so that's why that's come about. Jankiness or jank is what's typically used when it comes to nerdy stuff, tech stuff, or games. The first, for the first game, they did awesome. Yeah, that's true, that's true. Previously, I believe, I could be wrong on this, but I believe CD Projekt Red, originally, they formed as a company that did pirating and translation of games to Polish, because they're a Polish company. To Polish and German and stuff, I think. Something like that. I probably haven't got that quite right, but they started out pirating games and translating them. Then they became a real company, a real studio, and here we are today. Alright, over the shoulder mode, move around, yes, we know how that works. Then I've got isometric, yes, other isometric, and then back over the shoulder. Alright, let's see how we go. Let's fight this dickhead. So right now, we've got no abilities. Let's go and, come on, Geralt. Get into it. That's it. He's down. Try this view as well, but it's a little clunky sometimes.
mess with me and die.
Go in close. Go in close.
Just pissed off a sorceress.
You won't stop a sorceress.
How do you feel?
Fine.
Anyone know who the intruders are?
Ordinary bandits would never attack kä mHin.
That we know, Merigold. You could try some of your famous magic.
In due time, Lambert.
Enough! We need to check the other possible passages to the upper courtyard.
Yeah, apologies. There's still a bit of a neck scene with Triss. I thought I fixed it by switching a mod out just before I started. However, it does not appear that it worked properly or that I didn't get a chance to test it either. Typically in games you get this because face textures and models are separate to body ones. And that's why sometimes you get a line. That's why some games force some kind of collar or necklace to try and hide the joins. Triss, unfortunately, a little bit clunky here, sorry. I'll see if I can fix that in between streams and so forth. Yes, also, if you can note carefully, Triss is supposed to have some light scarring on her chest. And if you've seen the end of season 1 on Netflix, you'll know why. Frosty, watch the female hair, by the way. It can glitch in hilarious fashion. Excellent. That sounds fun. All right, we got to repel these invaders. Also, I need to keep an eye out for things to loot. Nope. All right. Lambert, Eskel, yep, Leo. So our fellow witches, yep, excuse me, coming through. Up we go. Frosty, you won't get rid of it. It's the original, and there's another NPC. There's a decapitated head sewn back on. Lovely. Yeah. Well, what I tried to do is switch out her outfit, so that it has a collar and hides it, but apparently it didn't work. Or it's because it's the prologue. Maybe future Triss appearances in this will fix that.
Follow me. What's happening?
They're trying to break down the gate.
They won't get anywhere without a battering ram.
You were saying?
What is that?
A frightener. One mean beast.
That's a big bish.
Savola. I know him. A mage as ambitious as he is insane.
Oh. Sending his monster after us, is he? Okay. Glow Mantis.
They're coming up here. Get ready.
Shing.
There's more! They're entering the upper courtyard!
The one in glasses is the professor. Murder for hire. I sense magic. There's a sorcerer among them.
Yeah, there is.
Professor, you know the way. Get to it.
Yes, deep voicey man. Oh, he's using our own gate against us, is he?
The professor is wanted in Redania, Temeria, and Kedwen. A real maggot. I don't recognize the sorcerer.
Merigold, I'm interested in whether you can disarm Savola. The rest is witch's work.
I'll try.
They're coming. The frightener is very dangerous, but it's vulnerable to loud noises.
Loud noises!
The upper courtyard.
Exactly. Eskel, Lambert, you'll help me stop the frightener and the bandits. Leo, stay behind us. Geralt, you open the gate to the upper courtyard. When we're there, Triss can stop Savola and his pet, while we prepare to deal with the professor and the unknown mage.
I'll figure something out.
Let's do this. Bleed them a bit down here before withdrawing. Geralt, follow the wall and break through to the tower where there's a passage to the upper courtyard.
Alone?
They're just bandits, though one might be infamous. You must open the gate. We'll be waiting. Good luck, Wolf.
Thank you. Yes, Geralt's nickname is the White Wolf, by the way, because he's got white hair, and he's from the School of the Wolf. So there's multiple witches' schools. Ours, Geralt's, Vesemir's, is the School of the Wolf. And Vito, yes, that is indeed Triss Merigold, who is prominent in the books and series and in all 3 games, I believe. Yennefer, I don't think shows up until at least late in Witcher 2. Maybe Witcher 3. I've only seen the start of Witcher 2. So, yes, Triss comes around a lot. And Bright, you're doing a Bailey's apple pie and having a wonderful time. I'm about to also have some Bailey's apple pie. Delicious. Alright, follow the minimap marker to find the quest objective. I'm going to turn my volume down because it's still fucking loud for me. Let's try that. Hopefully it makes me not yell as loud either.
Hurry! Open the gate!
Alright, so Triss is delaying the Frightener. These guys are fighting here.
Hold it forever! Open the gate!
Alright, whoa, hello, dickhead. Pain attacks kill enemies more effectively. Left click only. Yes, I gotta get my timing right. If I get my timing wrong, I ruin the combo. Means I'm staring at a mouse cursor constantly to make sure I get the timing right. Ugh. Okay, up we go. So we are tasked with opening the gate up here. Okay, and I think I can quick save. Yes, I can. All right. We're in business. Come on, Geralt. Cut him down. as we unlock more abilities, more talent points, and more weapons, Geralt will get more and more creative in his combos that can look pretty cool at times. But yes, if you've watched the TV series, especially the first episode where Henry Cavill fights a whole bunch of dickheads, that's very accurate. It's all about the two-handed sword and epic moves. Epic moves. Geralt also is referred to in the book as being a better swordsman than basically anyone and can beat pretty much any person one-on-one. So he's just meant to be very, very good. Delvin's off to Bunnings. No worries. Pity it's not a weekend, you better get a sausage. Frosty, honestly, it's like impossible to die in this section. Yes. Pitiful damage, and we get free stunnies. Yes. Also, I think we've also got heavy... Oh, there's the finishing move. Suck on that. I think we're also just immune to damage right now.
You'll regret the day you were born.
Tutorial mode for the win. Oh, another finishing move. Oh, that's fucked him up good. Well done, Geralt. Fuckosaurus, how's your grossness towards blood going? There's lots of blood. Oh, chopped his head off. Hells yeah, that's a finishing move. Look at that. Awesome. Alright, up the stairs. Come on, Geralt. Cooperate with me. That's right. I can also dodge. I need to remember I can dodge and jump. It's a little bit clunky, but I can do it. I can't jump over terrain, so I need to get used to that after playing Dragon Age Inquisition. Alright, now I've got a second style of fighting unlocked, which is the fast style. So by default before, you've got a strong style, which is slower, stronger, more damaging moves. Now we've unlocked the fast style, which is faster, but doesn't do as much damage. However, depending on who we're fighting, we need to switch styles. So these guys, for example, we have to use the fast style, otherwise he's just going to dodge everything because this guy is a fast guy. Anyway, got him down. I can switch between fast style and strong style. Oh, so we can take damage, but just a lot. That's all right. Thanks, Frosty. All right, strong style. So it's telling us we've got to switch back. So these guys, if we use the fast style on, we'll hit them a lot, but not do enough damage because they're armored. Apparently this guy's wearing armor. Well, he's on the top half, but not that middle section. But anyway, slapped him around. West minimap says to carry on in this direction. Salamandra. And I can pause. Yes, thank you. Which I'll probably do by accident at some stage. That's the spacebar button, which... Oh, you missed, Geralt, you wally. He's down. Strong style. I can't actively block. As far as I remember, I can't do cool things like being fast and blocking. That is introduced in The Witcher 2. Let's carry on down here. Should have run when you had the chance. You shut up. Oh, oh. Busted stairs. Busted tower. And slow-mo Geralt for the win.
No way through here. Follow me. Back to Savola.
That's true. Thank you, Frosty. I can do dodges. Yes, I can do dodges. Like, I can do dodges and dodge rolls if I get my buttons correct. Which I will need to do if I get overwhelmed. Geralt one-on-one is awesome. 5v1, not so much, but I can do things like hops and dodges and rolls and stuff. Yeah. We can do some cool flips as well, you reckon? I don't remember seeing cool flips, but don't worry, we'll get onto that. It's also cool when we unlock more combo moves as well. Geralt starts to whip out some really awesome moves. Now archers are fast as well, so we need to use... There we go, there's a flip. Come on, take him out. Take out this big dickhead now. Oh, slap. Oh, give me my sword back. Yeah, get off there. It looks funny in some of those moves. Yes, he does. That's just the age of the game and the engine showing through. There's a flip. There you go. That's the double tap that Frosty's referring to. Alright, he's down. And we can loot something here, can we? Oh, we can loot some alcohol. Now, you can drink alcohol, but also alcohol is what's used for making potions. The stronger or higher quality or more pure the alcohol, the higher grade or higher tier of potion you can make. Citadel entrance. Go out. Can we go there? Locked, yeah. Around here. So Frosty will roll if we double tap A and D sideways, and it'll make you do a weird spinny move. Don't worry, there's plenty of time for weird spinny moves. Oh, we can loot something over here. Oh, and there's a siege cauldron. Can we go and fuck that up as well? More alcohol, yay! The interface may look a little different to some people if you've played this before. This is changed from the Rise of the White Wolf mod. Can't move it, it's too heavy. Maybe if I could use some magic, which currently I cannot. But we will unlock the ability to use signs. Now, Geralt and witches can use signs, which is like a lesser form of magic. To do basic maneuvers, and you'll see some of my favorites soon. Oh, alright, let's go strong. Fight this guy first. Oh. Come on, chop him down. Next guy. Get the big slow dickhead. That's it, he's down. Alright, fast guy. Oh, he's still up. Come on, man. How many times do I have to chop you? Okay, left click on the winch to open the gate. Yep, that's fine. And holding Alt shows things. We've already been doing that. Open this up, Geralt. Gate is open. Triss. Ooh, is that one of ours? No. Oh, the big beastie's back. I forgot about that thing. I just turn around and run. That's fair. So Triss yeets a big fireball at the gate. Okay.
Damn it, Geralt. It's a miracle you're alive.
You could have told me about the stairs.
Lambert and Eskel were supposed to fix them yesterday.
We're not masons.
No matter. The professor and the other mage must be hiding in the keep.
Face the truth, Witchers. They're here to rob you.
Triss, child, we have nothing of value. Some good steel, snow fox pelts.
I mean the laboratory and you know it. Someone wants your famed mutagens.
You're jumping to conclusions.
Triss may be right. We need to find out what they want.
One thing at a time. We shouldn't turn our backs on a strong mage leading a frightener.
And you can't let the bandits in the lab.
Right as usual, Triss.
Geralt, you've dealt with mages. Find out what this one wants. Leo will guide you.
Just reconnaissance, or...?
No one will be sorry if some of them lose their heads. You'll manage, Wolf. Just remember Leo's with you.
I can handle this.
We'll see what's happening inside and be back.
Take these potions just in case. Drink the Thunderbolt now and keep Swallow for when you need healing. I'll be able to tell you how they work. We'll make sure no one else gets inside. Triss, stay with us in case Savola has any new ideas.
Alrighty. So Vito, it's pretty bad when an old video game Triss looks better than the live-action TV series. Everyone's pretty harsh on the Triss in the show. Look, I kind of agree. Ultimately, I think they could have done more. This is one of the failings of the TV series. I think the actress in the TV series is fine, but I think they should have made her hair redder to match the games and match the books. There's other things that the series does that completely differs from the game and the books. I'll point them out later on as well. I'm not happy about some of the changes that they've done because some of them seem pointless and now they're just not aligned. Some changes I do understand and I actually support. Right, to access items in inventory, left clicking the satchel icon or pressing I, cool. So here's our inventory. He gave us a couple of potions. Now we have some quick slots somewhere. Potion and bomb quick slot, okay. Thunderbolt, increased damage inflicted but makes dodging impossible, okay. And swallow, this is what does some health regen. We'll hold on to both of those potions for the moment. And our job... Oh, we've got lots of tutorial... Clear all of these off. How all that works. There's going to be glossaries that come up from time to time as well. Like mages. Only rare individuals have the potential to become mages, and many of those with this potential are doomed to madness. Unless the individual in question, also known as a source, learns to control their power quickly. He or she may end up a half-insane slobbering oracle. That is why schools of sorcery were created, where talented children study for many years, acquiring knowledge and mastering magical skills. Because of their powers, mages age more slowly than ordinary people. They can extract magical energy from the 4 elements, transport themselves long distances, and heal, as well as kill, in the blink of an eye. They have an extensive scientific and political knowledge. In the latter respect, many mages are the equals of rulers. So mages, basically, there's this concept of chaos. That's where magic is from. Just chaos exists. Mages can tap into it, influence it, control some of it. Mages typically live a long time. Witches live a long time. Elves live a long time. I'm not sure about dwarves. But anyway. Alrighty. Vito, Yen is cool. And you love you some redheads. Me too, I'm a redhead fan too. Don't worry, I get it. Yennefer is Mr. Nobody's favourite. I have to admit, I'm actually a big Triss fan. I don't know enough about Yennefer in the games yet, but I am a Triss fan, similar to Vito. Not just because of the redheadedness, but she also is not Yennefer can be a bit of a dick. Triss, not so much. But anyway. Triss, why have you got a lightning bolt stuck in front of your face?